Hi, my name is Mike Tusaw. I'm a financial advisor from St. Charles Wealth Management. Today, we're going to discuss the next level of selling a put to buy a stock. Now, if you've never sold a put to buy a stock before or are not familiar with that concept, we'd suggest that you would go and watch our video on selling puts before watching this one. If you have and you are familiar with that concept, let's get started. So here's the scenario. Let's say that you're looking at our good old friend XYZ stock and you want to sell a put to buy that stock. XYZ is trading at $55 per share, that let's say, and you really want to get into the stock at 50. Well, traditionally, what we've talked about in the past, you could sell the 50 put, meaning that you agree to buy the stock at 50 and you're paid, in this case, $2 for that privilege. If the stock goes down to 50, you're paid $2 to buy it at 50. And if the stock stays above 50, then you never buy it, but you get $2 for agreeing to do so. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to just simply selling a put. We talk about those in the other video. Let's take this to the next level today. XYZ stock is at $55 per share, and you do want to own it at 50. However, you think it's going to go down to 50. And so you want to take advantage of the ride down to 50. And from there, you want to get paid on the way down to 50. And you want to actually own it at 50. So how do we do this? Well, step one, what we're going to do is buy one, not two, but one 55 put. We're going to buy it for $4. Simultaneously, we're going to sell two, not one, but two 50 puts for $2 each. Now, in doing that, that creates an even money trade. Now, even money does not mean no risk. It just means that it's no out-of-pocket premium cost. The two 50 puts mitigate the cost of the one 55 put. So what are we trying to do with this, or what's going to happen with this? Well, first off, let's go through all the scenarios that can exist with this. Should the stock stay at 55 or go higher, and once again, this is based upon expiration day. It could be more or less between now and expiration day. If it's at 55 or higher, it's a break-even trade, meaning that the two 50 puts will expire worthless, and the 55 put will expire worthless because it'll be at 55 or greater. And you can see in that first row that the total that you'll make and lose from that trade, it's going to be break even. Now, have the understanding, what is the actual risk on here? You have a put spread, meaning you bought a 55 put and you sold a 50 put. You have that put spread, but you're also short an additional 50 put. So you have the risk of owning the stock at 50. So if the stock were to go to zero, you'll go to zero right along with it. You won't go all the way to zero because you'll make a little bit of money on this trade, but you do have the risk of owning 100 shares of this stock on here. Now, let's say that the stock goes to 53 at expiration. Well, you can see that on the 155 put that you bought, that's a $2 loss. You bought it at 2, and then at expiration, it's $2 in the money, so it's at $2 at expiration. So it's a $2 loss. However, both of those 50 puts are still worthless. So that's a $4 gain. So you can see in the far right-hand column that you have a $2 gain should the stock go from 55 to 53. Now, your dream price for this whole trade would be $50 per share. If the stock is at 50 at expiration, then you'll make $1 on that 55 put. Bought at 4, it's $5 in the money. It's now going to be at 5. On top of that, those 50 puts are still going to expire worthless. So you just made a $5 profit from the stock going from 55 down to 50. That's the dream price for the ratio spread itself. That doesn't typically happen. Let's say, though, that the stock does go in the money a little bit. If it's at maybe 48, 49, you'll still be better off than having just bought the stock at the 55 level, of course, or sold a 50 put. But when you're looking at this, you want to see where your other break-even point would be. This is a trade where if the stock goes higher from 55, you'll break even because the sale on the 50 puts cancels out the buy on the 55 put. Now, if we take this the other way, if the stock were to go to 45, that's going to be a $6 profit on the 55 puts because of the fact that we bought at 4, it's $10 in the money, and now we actually have a $6 profit on there. Now, those 50 puts that you sold didn't fare so well in that scenario. Those are actually $5 in the money. So because they're $5 in the money, if you sold them at 2 and now they're at 5, that's a $3 loss. And remember, you sold 2 of them, so 2 times 3 is $6. So you can see at 45, that's where this trade actually becomes break even, if you will. Now, once again, at 45, this is better than simply buying the stock at 55 and taking that $10 loss on down with you. But no matter what, you're going to have risk. Where the risk starts on this trade is from 45 on down. You can see at the 44 level, we have a $7 profit on that 55 put. We also have an $8 loss on those 50 puts that we sold. And that's where the minus sign comes into play. As the stock goes lower, you're going to start losing $1 in this trade for every dollar that you lose or that the stock goes down in value. And understand this is based upon expiration risk, pricing. Before expiration, pricing can be significantly different. Also, this is under the assumption that you plan to hold it till expiration and simply get put the stock. If you're put the stock at expiration, then of course your risk starts from 45 on down. If you enjoyed today's presentation, please subscribe. That's how we get our content out to more people. If you're looking for a financial advisor who actually uses ratio spreads, if it's appropriate for the client, of course, feel free to reach out to me. You can go to my website, stcharleswealth.com, and find all sorts of ways to get in contact with me. Also, please follow me on Twitter. I try and put a lot of content out, at Mike Tusaw, Tosaw. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.